Hey everyone, are you ready to unlock like a hidden superpower you didn't even know you had? We're diving into the world of lucid dreaming,
Oh, yeah.
where you're not just watching the show, you're writing the script.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about knowing you're dreaming while you're dreaming.
Whoa.
It's like stepping behind the curtain of your own mind. And today, our guide is Stephan Laberge's Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming.
Ooh, good book.
Yeah,
This book is packed with techniques and real-life stories, and we're going to pull out the most fascinating bits for you guys.
absolutely.
But first, let's talk dream science.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed weird recurring things in your dreams? Maybe clocks running backward or showing impossible times? I know I have.
Yeah, those are classic dream signs, little glitches in the matrix, so to speak.
Right.
They're your subconscious waving a flag saying, hey, you're in a dream. But the key is they're incredibly personal.
So it's less about memorizing a list and more about paying attention to what's off in your dream.
Exactly.
Like I once had a recurring dream where all the door handles were made of cheese. Totally bizarre.
Wow.
But it was my sign.
Exactly. Once you're aware of your dream signs, you can start reality testing.
Okay.
This is where the fun begins, those little checks to confirm you're dreaming.
Like trying to push your finger through your palm.
Right.
In the waking world, that's a no-go, but in a dream, anything goes.
It all comes down to the fact that dreams, while vivid, don't follow the same rules as waking reality.
Hmm.
The pinch test is a good example. People think if they feel a pinch, they're awake.
Right.
But that's often not true. Dreams can mimic sensations perfectly.
It's true.
Yeah.
So how do we reliably become lucid? Laberge talks about this technique called mnemonic induction,
Okay.
which sounds super fancy, but it's actually quite simple.
It's basically training your mind to remember to become lucid.
Okay.
Think of it like remembering to pick up milk on the way home.
Right.
You're just replacing milk with become aware I'm dreaming. Sounds silly, but it works.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then there are Wild's wake-initiated lucid dreams. This is where things get a bit more trippy.
Yeah, imagine focusing on those hypnagogic images you see as you fall asleep.
Right.
Those swirling colors, random faces, that feeling of falling wilds are about holding on to that sliver of awareness as you drift into the dream state.
Okay, I'm already feeling a bit more mindful just thinking about that.
Oh, good.
But what about actually controlling the dream once you're lucid?
Well, Laberge has some pretty cool insights on that. He draws an analogy to the 4-minute mile.
Okay.
For years, everyone thought it was physically impossible, and guess what? No one did it.
Until someone broke the barrier.
Right, and then boom, more and more runners started breaking the 4-minute barrier.
Right.
So is he saying our beliefs limit us even in our dreams?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you believe you can't fly in a dream, you probably won't.
It's about rewiring your expectations.
I like that.
And that applies to even the smallest things, like the myth that you can't say your own name in a dream.
Oh, really?
It's about recognizing that you are the architect of your dream reality. You have more power than you realize.
So if I believe I can fly over the pyramids while eating a giant cheese pizza, I can make it happen.
You got it.
This is blowing my mind.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
I can't wait to dig deeper into those possibilities. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore how to navigate the dreamscape, manipulate your surroundings, and even use lucid dreaming for personal growth.
We'll be back.
So don't go anywhere.
Okay.
See you soon. Welcome back, Dream Architects. I don't know about you, but my mind is officially blown wide open after that last segment.
Mine too.
So we've established that we have more control in the dream world than we think, but how do we actually take the reins and steer the dream where we want it to go?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? And Laberge has some fascinating answers.
Okay.
One technique he describes is called dream spinning.
Okay.
And it's not just a way to prevent waking up abruptly. It's like a fast travel system for your dream world.
Dream fast travel. That sounds amazing.
Right.
So how does it work? Do I just spin around like a top and think, beat me up, Scotty?
Well, it's a bit more intentional than that. Imagine this. You decide before you go to sleep that you want to visit the Great Wall of China.
Okay.
You visualize it vividly, the ancient stones, the winding path, the breathtaking views.
Right.
Then once you become lucid in your dream, you initiate the spinning motion while holding that image in your mind.
Okay, so it's like a combination of visualization and physical action within the dream.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like a ritual, a way to signal to your subconscious where you want to go.
Exactly. And it speaks to the power of intention in lucid dreaming.
Right.
It's not just about passively observing, it's about actively shaping the experience.
This brings up something we've been hinting at. Intention seems to be at the heart of pretty much everything in lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
It's like the more intention you bring to the dream world, the more control you have.
That's a great observation.
Nice.
And Laberge emphasizes this throughout the book.
Okay.
He talks about setting clear intentions before sleep, whether it's a specific place you want to visit,
Right.
a skill you want to practice, or even a problem you want to solve.
Now, before we get too carried away with our dream adventures, Laberge also warns about something called false awakenings.
Oh, yeah.
These are the times you think you've woken up, but you're actually still dreaming. I've had those before.
Yeah.
And they're so disorienting.
They can be really tricky. Laberge emphasizes that it's crucial to keep reality testing even after you think you've woken up.
Okay.
Check your surroundings, look for those little inconsistencies. For example, try reading some text twice. Does it stay the same?
Right, because in dreams, text often morphs and changes, which is another cool dream sign to watch out for.
Right.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Sure.
I have to ask about flying,
Of course.
because I think it's probably the most common dream goal.
Yeah.
Is it really possible to fly in a lucid dream?
Absolutely. In fact, Laberge includes an incredible account from someone experiencing their first lucid dream flight. They simply thought about flying, and suddenly they were effortlessly soaring through the air. The feeling was described as incredibly real and exhilarating.
Wow. I can only imagine. It makes you wonder if all those ancient myths and stories about flying gods and goddesses were inspired by some early lucid dreamers.
It's a fascinating thought. Maybe those stories are tapping into a deep-seated human desire for transcendence, for breaking free from the limitations of our physical bodies.
And that's something lucid dreaming offers a chance to experience those seemingly impossible feats.
Right.
But it's not just about fantasy and adventure, right?
No?
Laberge also talking about the practical applications of lucid dreaming.
Absolutely. Remember, it's not just about escaping reality. It's about using the dream world to enhance our waking lives. We touched earlier on using lucid dreaming for mental rehearsal, like practicing a speech or presentation.
Right, it's like having a built-in simulator for any skill you want to develop.
Exactly.
But what about using lucid dreaming for problem solving? Is there any evidence that this actually works?
Well, Laberge believes that lucid dreaming can help us tap into what's called tacit knowledge. This is the knowledge we have stored in our subconscious.
Okay.
The insights, intuitions, and creative solutions that we can't always access consciously.
So it's like having a hidden library of information and wisdom within our own minds. And lucid dreaming is the key to unlocking it.
Yeah.
That's incredible, but how do we actually do that? How do we use lucid dreaming to solve problems?
Laberge suggests creating a lucid dream workshop within the dream world.
A dream workshop.
It could be a laboratory, a library, an artist's studio, or even a magical forest.
I love that.
The point is to create a space that inspires you and allows you to explore different perspectives.
It's like giving your subconscious a dedicated space to work its magic.
Right.
And speaking of subconscious fears, what about nightmares?
Oh, yeah.
Can lucid dreaming help us overcome those?
That's a great question, and Laberge has some really empowering advice for dealing with nightmares.
Okay.
He emphasizes that even though it's terrifying, the key is to resist the urge to run away.
But how do you face your fears in a dream when it feels so real and threatening?
Laberge suggests that simply recognizing you're dreaming in the midst of a nightmare can lessen the fear.
Okay.
Because deep down, you know it can't truly harm you. He also encourages actively engaging with the nightmare, even trying to befriend the scary figures.
So instead of being a victim in the nightmare, you become the director, the one in control.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming your power, even in the face of your deepest fears. He gives an example of a woman who had a recurring nightmare of being trapped in a room with closing walls.
Oh, gosh.
Once she became lucid, she imagined a door appearing and simply walked through it.
That's amazing. It's a reminder that even in our darkest dreams, we have the potential to find solutions and create positive outcomes. This has been such an inspiring exploration so far. I'm eager to hear more about the deeper implications of lucid dreaming in part 3.
Me too. We'll be delving into the potential for healing, personal growth, and even the philosophical and spiritual dimensions of this extraordinary state of consciousness.
All right, sounds good. See you soon.
Okay.
Welcome back to the final part of our lucid dreaming deep dive. I'm still reeling from the idea that we can actually use our dreams to solve problems and face our fears, but I'm also curious about the more profound, even spiritual side of lucid dreaming that Laberge touches on.
Yeah, you're right. We've barely scratched the surface of what's possible with lucid dreaming. In this final part, let's explore how it can be a tool for healing, personal growth, and maybe even a deeper understanding of ourselves and reality itself.
Okay, I'm ready to go even deeper down the rabbit hole. Where do we start?
Well, Laberge suggests that lucid dreaming can facilitate both emotional and physical healing. He talks about engaging in dream dialogues with inner figures or even deceased loved ones.
Dream dialogues, that sounds intense. So it's like having a conversation with a part of yourself or someone you've lost in the dream world.
Exactly. He shares a story about a woman who was struggling with grief after her grandmother's passing in a lucid dream. She was able to have a heartfelt conversation with her grandmother, express her feeling, and find a sense of closure.
Wow, that's incredibly moving. It makes you wonder if, on some level, we're actually connecting with those loved ones, even if it's only within the dreamscape.
It's a question Laberge leaves open for the reader to ponder, but even if it's purely symbolic, the emotional healing and resolution that can occur in these dream dialogues is undeniable.
It makes you think about the nature of consciousness and the interconnectedness of everything. Okay, well, let's talk about physical healing. Could lucid dreaming actually impact our physical well-being? I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical about this one.
I understand your skepticism. It's an area that requires more research, but Laberge presents some intriguing possibilities. He emphasizes how vivid and immersive dream imagery can be, and how our minds and bodies often respond to dreamed actions as if they were real.
Right, like when we talked about mental rehearsal earlier. So is the idea that you could visualize healing a physical ailment in a lucid dream, and that could somehow translate to actual healing in the waking world?
That's one possibility he explores. He shares anecdotal accounts of people who visualized healing a tumor or a sprained ankle in their lucid dreams, and in both cases they experience positive outcomes in waking life.
It's definitely a fascinating idea, and it makes you wonder about the untapped potential of the mind-body connection.
Exactly. Now, beyond emotional and physical healing, Laberge also sees lucid dreaming as a powerful tool for personal growth. He draws a connection between lucid dreaming and mindfulness.
Oh, interesting. Mindfulness is all about being present and aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. I can see how that relates to lucid dreaming, where you're cultivating that same awareness in the dream state.
Exactly. It's like a training ground for developing those mindful muscles, and the benefits of mindfulness are well documented: reduced stress, increased focus, greater emotional regulation. Laberge suggests that by practicing awareness in the dream world, we can become more mindful and present in our waking lives as well.
So it's not just about what happens in the dream, but how the practice of lucid dreaming can change how we experience and interact with the world when we're awake. I love that.
It's about becoming more conscious and intentional in all aspects of our lives. Now, are you ready to take the ultimate deep dive?
Bring it on. I'm feeling pretty lucid at this point.
Perfect. Laberge doesn't shy away from the big questions. He takes us on a philosophical journey exploring the implications of lucid dreaming for our understanding of the self-reality and even the nature of existence.
Okay, I remember you mentioning earlier a Sufi story about a man named Nasruddin and a mirror. Could you remind me how it goes again?
Sure, Lasrudin goes to cash a check, and the teller asks for identification. He pulls out a mirror, looks at his reflection, and confidently declares, "That's me, all right."
Huh. It's funny because it seems so obvious, but I sense there's a deeper meaning there.
You're right, Laberge uses this story to challenge our assumptions about who we are both in dreams and in waking life. If the self we experience in a dream isn't our true self, then what is? And if the reality we perceive in our dreams is fluid and valuable, could it be that waking reality is more flexible than we typically believe?
Mind blown. Those are some seriously deep questions. Does Laberge offer any answers?
Well, he draws on wisdom from various spiritual traditions like Tibetan Buddhism and Sufism, which have long used dream practices as a path to self-discovery and enlightenment. He even includes a quote from a Sufi master who suggests that humanity is asleep concerned only with what is useless, and that lucid dreaming could be a way to awaken to a more meaningful and fulfilling way of being.
Wow, that's powerful. It makes you wonder if we're all just sleepwalking through life, and lucid dreaming is like a jolt of espresso for the soul.
It's an intriguing thought. Laberge ultimately leaves us with this final provocative question. What if the true nature of reality is far grander and more mysterious than we can currently comprehend, and lucid dreaming is just one key to unlocking that greater awareness?
I definitely need some time to process all of this. We've gone from practical techniques to existential questions about the nature of reality. It's incredible how much depth and richness there is to this whole subject of lucid dreaming.
It's a testament to the boundless potential of the human mind, and I believe we've only just begun to explore the mysteries and possibilities that await us within the world of dreams.
I feel like this is just the beginning of our journey into the world of lucid dreaming. Thank you so much for guiding us through Stephan Laberge's Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming. It's been an eye-opening experience.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If you're as intrigued by lucid dreaming as we are, we encourage you to pick up Laberge's book and start exploring this fascinating realm for yourselves. Sweet dreams, everyone.